Okay, let's talk about match types in Google Ads. It's a really important concept. It's not too hard to get your head around, but I'll try and talk you through how it works. So I'm going to use an example of a search term that a local business might use. Let's say I'm a roofing business and I'm looking for roofing clients. I'm looking for sort of roof repair jobs. So what you do is inside Google Ads here, you go into, as you're building a campaign, you have to add keywords in. So let's say I want to rank, I want to appear in Google for the term roof repairs. So every time somebody types in roof repairs, I come at the top of Google. Okay, let's say I want to create an ad for that. Well, there's basically three ways of adding the keyword into Google Ads. So one is called broad match. So that's called broad match. You can write the same keyword, but you put it in brackets like that, whatever they're called. And that is called, you put them in inverted commas or speech marks, and that is called phrase match. Or here's where the square brackets come. You type it like that, and that's called exact match, right? When you're adding keywords in, roof repairs in this case, you've got to choose between broad, phrase, or exact, right? And you've got to change what's called the syntax, or basically what goes around the keyword according to whether you want broad, phrase, or exact. Okay, so so the question you should be asking now is, okay, well, how do I know which type to add in? I'm going to jump over to here. Okay, I'll explain how it works. So sticking with the keyword roof repairs, if you add it as a broad match, that's without any of the syntax around it, so just sort of roof repairs. Well, what happens then is your ad will show for lots of terms that are related to your keyword. For example, if somebody's searching for roof fixing services, your ad will appear. If somebody's searching for leaking roof help, your ad will appear. So you might think, okay, well, that's really good. Emergency roofer, your ad appears, right? Roof replacement company. Okay, well, do you do actual replacements? Maybe not. Okay, you can see what's happening here. Basically, Google starts putting your ad for a broad number of search terms. So let's say there's a company called ABC Roofing Company. Do you want your ad to appear when somebody's searching for ABC Roofing Company? Possibly not. Or when somebody's searching for roof tile sealant, as an example, which is a product. Do you want your ad to appear when somebody searches for that? So you see what's happening. When you use broad match, you're giving Google license to show your ad for lots of related search terms. And the problem with that is often you end up appearing for like tons of things that are relatively irrelevant to what your service does, and then you end up wasting money because people start clicking on your ads, and it's not good. It's good for finding new opportunities, but the risk is you can show for things that you don't want. We tend to shy away from using broad match because you can end up spending a lot of money on things that you're not interested in. Next over is phrase match. The syntax for this one is roof repairs, but with the inverted commas or the speech marks around it. What happens here is that it's broad match starts wide, phrase match goes a little bit narrower. So in this scenario, you're giving Google license to include the meaning of your keyword in what people are searching for. So somebody searches for roof repair near me. Okay, roof repairs, yeah, that's bang on the money. Emergency roof repair, same as that one, yeah, that's fine. Flat roof repair services, yeah, that's sort of related. So you see that the search terms that your ad appears for is always, when you use phrase match, is always more or less related to, at least in meaning, to what your keyword is. That's why we tend to prefer phrase match, because it's narrower focus, doesn't give Google license to start showing up for products and companies and all this stuff. Although sometimes that still happens, but we'll talk about that in another video. So phrase match is good it's a good balance between control and reach. So if you think of broad match as maximum reach, and exact match, which we'll come on to in a minute, as control, phrase match is a sort of good middle ground, and it is the best starting point for most local businesses, we find. Now to exact match. Syntax for this one is roof repairs, but with the square brackets around it, and the searches are for the exact same meaning as your keyword. You've put in roof repairs. The ads will only show when somebody searches for terms such as roof repairs, as you'd expect. Roof repair, singular, plural, local roof repairs, like really tight. This is good in that it's the highest intent. It's probably the best quality traffic in terms of like somebody searches for that thing, you've got a good chance of appearing for it. But the problem with this is that as you're adding keywords in, unless you can think of every possible variation of the thing that somebody will be searching for, inevitably you're going to miss out on traffic. Therefore, this sort of has the lowest volume. It's hard when you run a campaign and you're only using exact match. Sometimes it's hard to get the numbers in. And also, you're not always, it's hard to always know what people are searching for, right? In a lot of campaigns, you can use a mix of certainly exact and phrase, and sometimes all three to get the best sort of mix. But when you're starting out, what we tend to do is start with phrase match. That starts bringing in the traffic, starts getting the clicks, and then you can sort of prune it from there. I hope you found that useful and it didn't blow your mind too much, because it is a bit of a tricky one to get your head around. And any questions, let me know. And yeah, have a good day. See you later. Bye.